Good morning again, YouTube. Part 2 to Mr. President Trump. And I hope somehow you get this, which I got this real big, I don't know, silly notion that you never will. You'll never see this. It'll be a file 13 so fast it ain't going to be funny. It'll make your head spin. Okay, to start with, Mr. Trump, I am but a common man that smokes damned old cigarettes, uses marijuana, so you know where I'm coming from. There ain't gonna be no bullshit in the line from me. There ain't no fucking gray area. Forgive my language. I'm not eloquent. I am but one of many, just like me, sitting out here watching this circus, this show, this movie go on, and I'm starting to see something that's kind of, it almost looks like the same show, just different actors. No offense to you, Mr. Trump, because I do believe this is in my own heart and own mind to believe such things. And being that I use my gut for judgment, okay, and I also have heaven and hell tattooed on my chest with the 7 deadly sins down my arm, okay. I'm not no religious nut. I'm not no fanatic. I do not carry any denomination, period. For me, studying, I understand that the original so-called religion on this earth, it was called the following. Okay? This is how far I went back and done my own study to find out things. Okay, to say this. Okay, nowhere in my King James Bible, even though I know it's plumb full of holes, okay, the truth has always come through in them words. That was something man could never do. It was wrote and orchestrated in such ways to where no matter who or what got a hold of that Bible throughout the years and centuries and our history, they could not keep the truth from coming through in these words. I know that much. Okay. One, Mr. Trump, you're 70-some years old. You're a wise man. Know this. Okay. Here is my gut feeling. You are being lied to. Okay? I'm sitting here, I'm watching the so-called Anons, okay, do the job for Barr, Durham, Ray, mountains of evidence. And even you said it yourself. Okay? Two, nowhere in that Bible, when it comes to truth, that it ever had a gray area. God didn't walk around, create these human beings that we are with our emotions. We bleed. We have an understanding on how to speak, walk, talk, all of this. He never held back the truth to spare somebody's feelings. Okay? This small majority of people, okay, that I keep hearing about, that you're trying to keep from your damage control mentally, Okay? God didn't create you to have damage control mentally unless you do it for yourself. Okay? No one has that right. No one down on this earth that I know of can walk on water. No one down on this earth is God. If you got this so-called smart military that's done set forth a plan with you for 20 years, my understanding, okay, you should have the reverence and understanding and the respect to the people of the United States to quit playing games. For if you are in a corner and boxed in, we, the people, would like to know. Okay? Because what's being handed to us, okay? Let's look at this one. Okay. We got people out here that's gathering massive numbers. Okay? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, about clones. Okay. Supposedly to spare our feelings, our mental capability, I'm sorry. I'm not that weak-minded, okay? And for the only way for anybody to not be that weak-minded is to go through some kind of trauma or some kind of truth. No gray area. That little gray, the gray asshole, completely out of the picture. Truth is black and white. Okay? The black and white makes the gray. Okay? When truth is being spoke, it should never, never be squashed in these manners. Okay? I'm not trying to talk down to you, Mr. President. I'm trying to get you to see a formidable other picture here. Okay, not the gray area, just the black and whites. Your military is playing in the grays. Okay? All this other stuff's playing in the grays. God never played in the grays. So here we go. That's weird. I got a gray lighter. It's laying on a black mat. And I got a white piece of paper over here. That's real to me. All this other stuff that's being force-fed to me and the general public, known as the humanity and we the people and the world, has you in their mind, okay? I don't know if you really know this, and you probably don't, because I feel like the information that's being fed to you is that little gray man. Every one of us out here sees you as a savior. Sorry to put that burden on your shoulders. Okay? And I feel like you, Mr. President, are being lied to through your everyday reports. They're giving you the little gray man, never telling you the facts. They're playing games because they control the board out here. We know how this works. We've been seeing it for years. And until you made it up and made it into office, I didn't have no damn say-so and did not give one hill of beans about any political party. Either way, I knowed that I was watching a bunch of crooks run the world, understood that, because in history shows this, the progression on how, where, and why they got there. Okay? We're supposed to have a say-so. Supposed to be we the people. But I just don't see this as we the people. I see this as some kind of made-up fantasy to keep our mind going in a different direction, just like always before. But this time, it's going in a different direction. We're supposed to be seeing the good of things. Okay, you get back to the clone situation. I want to let you know, okay, which I don't know if you really know or not. I'm just assuming, but my gut tells me that I'm right. Okay, and for some reason in my life, I guess I've been blessed with it. Through my whole life, I've known things sometimes without even touching the subject. I knew the truth of it. It just come to me like a voice in the back of my head. Some people call that God. Okay, it may be. But I've known things without knowing why I even know them. Okay, the clone situation. I went and done my own study. There's a clone lab in Canada. I can't, the name of the place slips me right now. I got the fifth dimensional Biden syndrome, short timers. It takes them 1 year to clone a human arm. But see, you got people out here that's spreading then these unsubstantiated, no facts rumors that y'all pushing clones out like baking cakes. Y'all went through and changed out Hillary, Obama, Biden, his wife, Pence, his wife, bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches of others. Okay? Now, at the same time they say this, these people are still sitting in the same seats, same locations, same homes, doing the same thing that the so-called real person that is either in Gitmo, okay, that's another scenario, or they're clones. Or does that make any, forgive my language, fucking any common sense? Why are we being fed lies? Why are we keep getting this little gray man? Black, white, facts only. And for you to believe that it's better, okay, to shelter the truth from any of us, Mr. Trump, they lied to you. They convinced you of a lie. Show me anywhere in our Bible that God ever done this to his people. You're being looked at as a savior for this world. It needs to be black and white. Trains only travel one way up that track or the other down way that track. That's the only two directions they can go because it's laid out for them. Okay, this movie that the Anons is talking about, now I think it's True TV, I think is the name, big boy out of Chicago, he's saying that 8kun or 8chan or whatever damn name it is now, okay, that they have been infiltrated by the BLM and Antifa. And if this is the case, how long has that been going on? Okay? I know what you're doing to try to set forth and do the right things. That my gut tells me. Okay? But the rest of the bullshit needs to be taken off the table. Okay? And if somebody's got you convinced that it's better for us to not see and not hear the truth, you need to revisit that thought. And like I said, show me anywhere in our scripture that God ever done this. He put foot to ass, then explained. Because way back then, Most people had enough common sense to know if something was wrong in their life and in their village and in their town or their city, whatever the case may be. Okay? If anything, you're creating more sheep by doing this. You're allowing people to cower down when they should be doing this. It's taking their humanity away from them by not you doing the black and white thing, not the gray, and trying to speculate to all of us out here, it's better if they only know so much of it, 20%. No. So, Mr. Trump, how did you learn anything but not failure? Okay? And if your boys, your military, has got the whole board, okay, they're able to sway or do anything they want to do, just like the deep state has been doing and still yet is doing. What's to say that they ain't done created another circus known as the information war to keep even you and your so-called experts running in a damn circle but making it look like something else? The gray man, maybe? No, we don't need this, okay? I to be my brother's keeper, Cain and Abel, okay? What happened there is one thing, okay? We also understand our family situations, if we could help turn one of our brothers or sisters or uncles or aunts back away from a path that we see as destruction. We done something for our family. It starts at home. Okay? But the only way that any of us ever learns anything from the basic work skills, from the basics of speaking to somebody, or a man speaking or a boy speaking to a girl, okay, is failure. Okay? Failure, another word for that, is called truth. Forgive me, by the way, I'm doing this. It's just getting so frustratingly crazy that I'm watching somebody that I'm believing in, okay? But I still feel like your hands is tied behind your back. You're in a corner. You're not allowed to say anything. But you can go to these rallies and hop up thousands, jump on a plane and go to the next one and do the same thing. Mr. Trump, you're in like Flynn. You know this. And if you got somebody, well, Biden's a little bit ahead in some state over here, we need to go over here. We done figured out 47 fucking years of retardism. It ain't just him. We understand that the big majority of our government is a joke. And thank you for not hiring back them 300,000 people. It needs to be another, at least 500,000 cut right off the top out of our government. And if you're going to hand us back the republic and back a gold standard, okay? I understand this much. And for whatever reason is going on, and if it's somebody else overseas dragging their ass to keep you from getting this done, you need to reason through the ups and downs of this relationship with this idiot overseas and figure out, okay, should I go forth and get this done? Because as soon as the gold standard is committed to us and it gets back in our damn hands, more than 80% of the bullshit goes away because they can't run around and manipulate everybody's ass under a debt program known as the Federal Reserve. Most of us has done the study. for the ones that has not. That truth is there. And once it's permitted to smack them in the damn face, left and right, and wake them up a little bit, then they can go forth and find out why this just happened. But until then, remember, Mr. Trump, your little boys in blue and green and yellow and all this military minds of bullshit, okay, are not God. If you want this country to become the United States that our forefathers wanted, okay, colonies used to think as a group because that's all there was. Now there's so much bullshit information, you can take truth and turn it into a lie. You can take a lie, but you need a little bit of truth to make the lie work. So these foregone for instances of our logical minds has done drove most people out here bat shit crazy. Okay? Forgive me for saying this. Like I said, to be my brother's keeper, it starts at home. Yes, I understand. The only way that we're going to heal is turn loose all of the information to the general public in such a manner to where nobody can't hold you from getting it done. Then, you talking about watching a rat scurry to try to get off the damn ship, you could see by the droves, waves of these idiots be running from you. Foot to ass. Then God stood there and told these people, hey, y'all know this wasn't right. This had to be done. It's called correction. Good Father. If you're going to play the United States' father, please don't hold the truth from us because somebody says it would be easier, okay? I'm going to say this in a blunt fashion. I give a shit less about some panty-waist person that can't pick up their own damn underwear, that's living in their mama's damn basement, okay, or is fooled to the system's bullshit debt system and think what they've been living in is something that's real, and most of us out here already know that it's not. Please quit patting us on the back and telling us it's going to be okay. Throw the fury of the Lord out there, and it's called the truth. Then stand there and pat everybody on the back and say it's going to be okay. Here's the truth. The small majority of little idiots that want to crawl up in a corner and cry like a 5-year-old, if these people are at least 20 or older, how did they make it in life up until this point? With no problems? Them some blessed people. They didn't have no anguish. They didn't have nobody die. They didn't have this. They didn't have that happen. Life ain't nothing but a roller coaster, up and down, good and bad. Why are y'all taking it off the tracks? This is real. It's life. Peace to you. And I'm not saying this to be hateful to you, Mr. Trump. But enough's enough. When you get back into office, and I'm praying for this to happen, and I pray for you, your family, the White Hats, and even that stupid DOJ, that y'all are all well protected with a hedge of protection. Every day, every night before I go to bed, I say these things, ask for these things. But I also want God's will and His justice and His plan to come through with what you're doing. And I believe your little military personnel running around you in circles is feeding you a bunch of bullshit. You eat a good steak in your life. I believe they're serving you hamburger. That's just a gut feeling. Robert Firestone signing off. 11:08 a.m. 10/26/2020 from the flyover state of West Virginia. And I am so glad I am in a state that has a little bit of common sense left, even though I still see the diaper wearers. That's another thing, Mr. Trump. It's not working by showing. Okay? You was taking the other drug, hydroxy, whatever it is. You got a mass bunch of scientists, and I followed this, saying that the hydroxy taken is like a vaccine also. Okay, what that meant to me, it was a preventative thing for you to ever catch it again. You're trying to tell me your wife and your children wasn't taking it too? How did just you, your wife, and your youngest son contract COVID? Then you come out 3 days later, healed, okay? Showed the whole world. Here we go. Y'all want to hide the facts of the truth, but then when you bring the truth out, you're not willing to follow up to explain to people. Go to your doctors, get the shots, pills, whatever the case may be. You need to shut Big Pharma completely down. You're in the start of it. And I'm liking seeing that because every time you take a nickel out of these assholes' pockets, it's less power they got daily. That's been a proven fact forever. You want to shut down a criminal organization, if you get their money away from them, they're no longer a criminal organization because they don't have the money to keep moving forward with all the bull. Peace. But also, like I said, if you're going to do something, Mr. Trump, follow up with it. And I'm sorry that I'm 50-some years old and I feel like I'm talking to my son. And I know I'm not trying to belittle my own president. And you've done way more than I have ever done. But at the same time, I'm seeing things and my gut's telling me that you're being lied to, we're being lied to. Okay? That line, that gray area, needs to be swept off the board. Black, white, facts. Okay? Everybody out here loves you and respects you for what you've been doing, trying to do, like your executive orders. For the people that's in the know, we can see and understand what these executive orders applies to. And we understand that there was a law that was supposed to be implemented that it was the rumors and everything. It was there. It's real. We understand that. The ones that's paying attention. But all this glamorized crap, we've had enough of it out of Hollywood. Then you look at your sports. They're all the same way. Then somebody, day before yesterday, puts out a report. Here's my Biden reaction again, short timers. Puts out a report, starts going into the numerology of sports. Well, the old boy starts finding connections and numerology in sports back to games being fixed and all kinds of things. That adds right up throughout the history of sports. These games, man, if there is a truth book, I believe there's all kinds of books of secrets out here that the elite has kept from us and been playing games with us. But Mr. Trump, we the people did not put you in there as a president, as a preacher. We did not put you in there as a politician, and you know this. So if you're the businessman that you show yourself to be, okay, and you have to get hard-nosed, sit down, have communication with God, talk it over with Him, because I believe you have the insight to see things, okay, partly because of who you are, and partly age and wisdom. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to quit aggravating you and everybody else. But I'm not buying into the circus known as DC. I'm not buying into the clones. I'm not buying into a lot of this. Because trees that bear good fruit shows themselves to be good. And you've done that, Mr. Trump. But everything else that's underneath your tree is trying to dig your roots out. Okay? Have an understanding, the little gray man standing there with a pick and shovel and just digging like hell. At the same time, they're over here on the opposite side, pouring water on your food to get you to grow better. There's two sides to a coin, as we've always been told. But then I found out later in life there's actually three, and it's called an edge. And that's where most of us stand. Because we want the truth. I do. I can't believe there's nobody out here that don't. They expected me to believe nobody don't want the truth. I don't know of anybody that wants to be lied to or told a partial truth, the 2080. I just don't see it. Thank you, Mr. Trump.